Hi everyone, this is Key. This video is about the upcoming fall 10-week training program. And I'm really doing this video for our participating agents, those who are thinking about participating, and what should they expect from the training, the program. It's about 3 months long. What should they expect from the program? How does it work? What are the benefits? What are the topics I'm going to be covering? And the bottom line is all about production. It's about getting listings. A real estate career is on track when our agents are doing one listing a month. Just think about that. Just think about the power of one listing a month. You may add it up and you may say, oh, that's only 12 deals a year. No. See, listing, when you have them, attract more listings and more buyers. An agent who does one listing a month will close close to 20 to 25 deals a year. And that's the idea that very few agents have learned. And we need to spread this mindset. Now, when I designed the 10-week training program, I had in mind people who are going to be learning and applying what they're learning at the same time. They're not just learning in a book or in a notebook and then wait for what happens next. No, this is applying what you're learning. So let me give you a sense of it. Let me give you an idea of how to approach this program and see if it will benefit you. Now, my name is Key. I'm a mindset trainer. I consider myself a production coach. I'm an activity coach. When I work one-on-one with brokers and sometimes agents, especially team leaders, I nudge them towards activity. Here's what I've learned. Knowledge is not sufficient. Knowledge is good. It's important, but it's not sufficient. It does not make you produce results. Application of knowledge, even if you make mistakes, is the surest line, through line to becoming a producer. Because when you're starting to apply what you're learning, you're a little scared, you're not sure of yourself, you haven't built your confidence. And guess what? You have to try it. You have to go out into the world and apply these ideas. Imagine you walking up to a for sale by owner or calling an expired listings. If you had the script, the mindset, the approach, the CRM, the way to do it, how to say it, how to handle objections, you will probably do better. And but the knowledge of it is not sufficient. You have to apply it. So I'm an activity coach. And when I designed this 10-week program, I designed it so that you're only absorbing about an hour to an hour and a half of instruction each week. And by doing so, you can continue doing your work out there. And as you're learning those things, you're applying those principles. You're applying those things that you're learning. So let's get into it. First thing you need to know, less than 10% of agents develop a production mindset. A lot of agents, they tend to hover around the order taker mindset or wait for the customer mindset. And that happens because a lot of them, from the get-go of their career, they focus on working with buyers. And guess what? They become a little bit more passive rather than proactive when you work with sellers. With sellers, you have to convince them that not only will you list their home, not only that your commission is 6 or 7%, but that also that you will close the deal. It's a higher bar. And that's where you need to go. You may think, but Key, I'm going to work with buyers first to get comfortable and then I'll graduate. Wrong. That is not the right mindset. I don't know why we teach it that way. It should not be this way. We should learn how to list homes from the get-go. Yes, there's some learning. Yes, there's some training, and I provide some, and there's many others who provide some. But from the get-go, when you come to this industry, especially if you're going to be full-time, especially if you aspire to make more than 100,000, more than 200,000, you're going to put in your mind, I'm a listing agent first. I may not know all the answers, but I'm going to learn what they are, and I'm going to learn how to get one listing a month. Now, I hear some of you who've been in the business a while saying, but Key, really, 2 listings a month is what you should go for. Okay. Yes, I agree. But here's what I found. If you learn to get one listing every 2 months at the beginning of your career, so you get 6 a year, if you learn that, it's easier to go from there to one listing a month. And if you really learn to get one listing a month, the sky's the limit. You don't need anybody to teach you anything because you learned how to fish. Now, you can go from one listing a month to 2 listings a month very easily, very quickly, because the same skills that you need to manage one listing a month are the same for 2 listings a month. So there are some fundamentals we have to learn. And once we learn them and apply them, we become part of the 10% who have what's called a production mindset rather than wait for the customer mindset. I say we should and must do better. How do we do that? Well, we have to equip our agents with the right mindset, the right training, and the right tool. It has to be practical. I cannot just tell you, I want you to go out there and farm a neighborhood. And you go, what do I do? See, that is a fair question. Somebody should show you what to do, how to do it, what flyers to generate, how to get the information from the MLS, what to say at the door, how to handle objection, and how to be polite and understanding when interacting with people on the phone and in person. Because once you have that and you practice it, you feel a little bit more confident. When you have a little bit of confidence, it nudges you to do more. It feels good to try to do better and better. And that's the mindset. My courses are very practical. I give you checklists of things to focus on. So, I say that the only reason our agents don't have the listings they deserve has nothing to do with the market. It has to simply do with the fact that they're not asking enough. Our agents are not asking enough for listings. They're not talking to homeowners and finding out who's thinking about selling. They're waiting for the homeowner to come to them. Remember, passive versus proactive. And one of the major reasons our agents are not asking for business is the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection is causing some of our agents to sit on the sideline. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing. They're afraid of saying it the wrong way. They're afraid of approaching the wrong people. So the fear of rejection, when somebody says, I'm not interested, has ruined the career of many. So your job is to realize when you develop a script. Now, a script is simply a mindset for a conversation that you adapt to your style. You do not become somebody else when you do a script. You become yourself. So whatever script I'm going to give you, let's say a for sale by owner, you're not going to say it exactly. Well, the first time you learn it, you may write it down. Then you say it a couple of times. Then you change up the words to sound like you, so they become your scripts. Eventually, great agents have great scripts, but they're unique to them. Their scripts are not the same as somebody else's. They share the same ideas, but they are unique to their style of delivery. The fear of rejection can only be conquered when our agents have a plan of action. You got to have a plan. You got to know what you're doing in the morning, in the middle of the day, end of the day. You got to have scripts that you've developed, what to say to a FSBO versus what to say to an expired listing. They're not the same. What to say to a new homeowner, what to say to somebody who's been living there for 20 years. You have to adapt your script to your audience. And then once you have all of this, you got to have a checklist for production. This is how many calls I'm going to make. This is how many conversations I'm going to have. After this conversation, I'm going to follow up with 3 or 4 of them. If I do these things consistently, I'm going to get my listing a month. Once I get my listing a month, I'm going to build my confidence to get another listing. By the way, The best time to get a listing is when you have one. When you have a sign in the yard in a neighborhood where you want more listings, that's the time to double down. Getting a listing is not about just selling it. Of course we're going to sell it. You know why we're going to sell it? Because we're going to price it right, and we're going to give the homeowners a good plan of action. So selling the listing is a done deal. We don't have to worry about that because we have a good plan. But the best time to get a second listing is from the neighbors of the people you've listed your home. And when I say neighbors, the 40 or 50 homes around it. And that's why you notice, I don't know if you've been in business a while, you will notice this. Those who have listings tend to have more listings. And they go, well, how are they getting the listings? Well, I told you, the best time to get the listing is when you have one. I was just talking to a broker, found this neighborhood and got a listing there, did a great job, got to meet the neighbors. That listing, within 2 weeks, got him another listing. That listing found him a buyer who needed to list in another town, and all of a sudden, a ricochet effect. One listing created 7 deals. Because when you have listings, you have branding, you have signage, you have an aura about you, an energy about you. And that energy is contagious. Sellers want to work with go-getters. Sellers don't want to work with people who have a lot of time. You're not exchanging time for money. You're exchanging expertise for money. They're giving you 6 or 7% on the listing based on your expertise, not based on, I have plenty of time, I'll work for you 24/7. That is not what they picked you. They picked you because in their mind, when you list it, you're going to sell it, you're going to do a great job, you're going to communicate, you're going to follow up, you're going to do everything that you know should be done right. And that's the mindset I want each one of you, especially if you choose to take my class, to remember. I really believe, and this is my belief, it may not be yours, that any real estate agent who's full-time can earn a bronze award every year. And a bronze award is a minimum production of 25 transactions a year, 25 deals closed. I'm fully aware that you have to start with listings. You can't get to 25 just working with buyers. If you did 25 transactions working with 25 buyers in 1 year, you will burn out by the time June happens and you're cooked. It's impossible. I mean, there's a few people who can pull it off, but they're so rare. They're usually a team. They're not just an individual. Working with buyers and doing 25 transactions with buyer is a sure sign to burn out. But if you want 25 transactions a year, you have to have a minimum plan of 1 listing a month. That's it. That's your minimum. And you need to learn how to farm a neighborhood, how to talk to homeowners, how to, work expired and FSBOs, how to work people who want to downsize, how to work people who want to upsize. All of these things, you have to learn them. And that's a great investment in your time. I also believe that the major obstacle for people who are full-time, who want a bronze award minimum, a lot of them want to, some of the people I coach, we go for a silver minimum. But a silver is 50 transactions. The only reason 25 transactions or more than 200,000 for sure in GCI, is what I call iffy mindset. The mindset is not there yet. It hasn't gelled. There hasn't been the mind hasn't wrapped itself around the business. It hasn't grabbed it and say, this is my business. We're going to run you this way. That's one of the obstacle I see. Another one is bad business planning. They wake up in the morning and they make stuff up. They don't have a plan. Or worse, they wake up and turn on the TV, which ruins your day. Lack of self-discipline. Self-discipline is simply doing what you said you're going to do and saying no to anything most of the time, saying no to anything that is a distraction. And there are plenty of distractions. Your job is to know when to say no so you can say yes to the right things in your business. And the last one is inconsistency. You don't have systems. You keep reinventing the wheel. You don't have checklists for putting your listings in the MLS. You don't have checklists for putting your listings in social media. You don't have checklists for following up after the sale. You don't have checklists for doing your marketing and branding of yourself. If you just got some discipline, by the way, I'm told all the time, how many disciplined hours would be good for an agent to succeed? I would say the minimum is 2 hours. You only need 2 hours of disciplined work. And I mean disciplined, no distraction. You know exactly what you're going to do. You know exactly who you're going to follow up. You know, you have a good CRM. If you did 2 hours of disciplined work, plus 2 hours of filler. Filler is the paperwork, the stuff you have to do. You'll be good. You do not need to spend 10, 18, 20 hours a day disciplined to succeed in real estate. And that's the challenge. Learning what to prioritize, learning what needs to come first before you do what you need to do. Because we tend to go and do the things we like to do. So if you're a very techie person, you like to work on the techie stuff. If you are a very a person who likes more of a conversation, you spend your time on the phone, regardless of who it is. You talk to everyone. You have to know when to say no. You know that agent who called you to just chat? That chat was supposed to be 10 minutes. 3 hours later, you're still talking? Houston, we have a problem. So that self-discipline is what's needed. But I don't want to scare you. I don't want you to think that you have to discipline 10 hours of your day. You don't. So keep that in mind as I go along. By the way, I designed 2 10-week programs, and I designed them to alternate. So every 3 months, I do a special 10-week program, and another 3 months, I do another one. What simply means is I have 20 sessions. Actually, I have more than 20 sessions. So I do 10 in one 10-week program, and I do 10 in another one. The reason being, you can only absorb so much. You can only absorb so much in this business. This business is about you doing the work. And all of the sessions that I do are very unique. They intersect. There are things that they have in common, but the topics and the ideas are unique. I have several brokers. This is a broker-centric program. I have brokers who run it back to back because they have new agents coming in, and they have agents who want to continue to sharpen the saw. Just getting better. By the way, that's the name of the game. Just doing the work, getting better. Doing the work, getting better. Don't surround yourself with the naysayers. Don't surround yourself with the people who go, oh, the market is terrible. Those are not your friends. Those are complainers. They don't want to do anything for themselves, and they want to drag other people down into the negativity of their negativity. You don't want that. All right, so what is the Fall 10 Week? Well, the first thing you need to know about the Fall 10 Week, the first live session is September the 6th. The week before that, we call that the Onboarding, which I'll talk about in a second. This one has 10 sessions. I'm going to show you what they are in a second. But I designed them to influence your sales and your listings and your closing. That's the bottom line. It has to affect your production. Remember, this is a program of production. So we're going to talk about how to have a strategic plan, how to handle expires, how to canvas with the market report and what we call farming, how to work with how to hold proper buyers consultations so that the buyers don't waste your time, how to talk to sellers about their home, how to develop a go-getter mindset, how to foster accountability by working with other people, and how to develop scripts. Not only will I give you a script that will help you with your business, I will show you a technique that will help you start creating your own so that you can adapt yourself to your market, because your market is unique. Your market may have a little bit more mobile homes and land than another market. So you will adjust, you will learn to adjust the script to the type of audience you have in your area. So, what are the dates? So first, all of the live sessions, and there are 5 out of the 10, all of the live sessions are on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. So the first week, I call it the week before the live session, we do what's called an onboarding week, which I'll explain in a second. Then there are 5 live sessions, and you notice it's every 2 weeks. So the live session where you come to the office to take the class with your broker and your other colleagues, those live sessions are Wednesday the 6th, then 2 weeks later, the Wednesday, September the 20th, etc., etc. Then between those weeks, we do what's called self-directed sessions. Self-directed session is, if you're on the roster of this course, you will get an email from me in the weeks in between the live sessions. For example, the week of September 11th, that will be the week when we don't do a live session. You'll receive an email that has a video, a handout, and an exercise for you to work on. It's usually about an hour, and you work on it on your own. You don't have to come to the office. Some brokers actually do that. Some brokers actually use the in-between sessions to bring the agents again. So they meet every week because they want to talk about how they're doing. I like that. If you can do that in your office, I like that. Now, the fall program, because there is a convention between October 24th and 27th, that week, there will not be any live session or self-directed. So we're moving the program by just a week. Does that make sense? So we're skipping that week from any commitment for those of you who are planning to attend the convention in Anaheim this year. Okay, what else should you know? Well, each agent is asked to sign a participation pledge. You don't have to sign it. Here's what I found about the pledge. Those who sign the pledge make a commitment to themselves and to their broker to be better, to work on their business like a business. They realize that the journey of success is a journey, and that journey has a lot of commitments inside of it. So I would be requesting of you, I can't demand it, obviously, I'll be requesting of you to read the pledge, sign it, and turn it over to your broker. And when your broker receives that pledge, he or she will put you on the roster of participants. So let's say your office has 15 agents, all right? 15 agents in your office. Maybe 7 are going to take this course with a pledge and attend every class as much as possible. Well, the broker will send me those pledges, and you will be receiving my emails directly from me. Now, here's what the pledge looks like. By the way, let me first show you where the page, you will see a URL on every page, and you'll see it at the end. You probably saw it at the beginning. There's a URL that takes you to this page. This is the page that talks about the program, just like I'm talking about it on the video. It has a flyer that talks about the program. It has the details, which I'll cover in just a minute. And it has the participation pledge right here. So if you go to this URL that you see on the screen, or the one that is in the video, which is a shortener, you will be able to go to this page, and you can take the session details PDF or the pledge. Here's what the pledge looks like. This is the participation pledge. It is a 2-page document. And in this participation pledge, I'm asking you to approach the program, the 10-week program, like a boot camp. I'm asking you to, armor yourself. Just tell yourself, I'm going to do this the way Keith thinks it's going to help me grow my business. And I want you to open your mind to that possibility. A lot of people have done this, and it has worked for them. It will work for you as well. So the pledge is about you saying that you're going to attend the sessions, that you're going to watch the videos that I send you, that you collaborate with other people. You're going to have a success partner. When you have a chance, just go download it and read it. So that would be when we get started. I'm going to ask you to read the pledge and possibly sign it and turn it over to your broker, because you take your success journey seriously. And I invite you to do that. Then the week before, we have the onboarding. The onboarding process is very simple. I'm going to ask you to read the pledge and sign it. Your broker will receive an email, and your broker will send it to you, broker or admin, to read the pledge. I'm going to ask you to join a Facebook group. Are you going, what is a Facebook group? Well, I designed a special private and hidden group on Facebook that allows the agents who are learning the script to practice them amongst the people in the group. So every program, we have about 50 to about 100 agents who do the class, and we want to learn from each other. So there is a private group that you go to, and I'm going to be asking you to practice your script. I'm going to be asking you to possibly record yourself so that you get rid of the fear, so you can build your confidence. And then you would go to that private group, and then you will share your video. So let me show you. We have a group right now participating in the summer program, and this is the Facebook group for that group. Some of you who are going to do the next one will be here. And if you notice, if I scroll down, you notice that agents are doing their scripts. Each week they do a short video. They practice their script. They learn from each other, which is the most important part. And they get notification on what they're learning. So if I took you to the media page, so let me show you the media page. This is where all of the videos that the agents are doing are going to be. You will notice that the agents record their videos, they bring them here, they learn the script, let's say a phone script or a FSBO script, or whatever the script is, and then they practice it in front of others, first to build their confidence, and that's what we want. The currency of success with listings is confidence. So they can build their confidence and get rid of the fear. And second, because you can learn from somebody else. Somebody else will say it a certain way, and you go, "Ooh, I like that. I like the way Jackie said it. I'm gonna make mine similar to hers." Because each one of us has a different personality. So if we can attach ourselves to a script that sounds like us, we are halfway there. We just have to implement it and put it out there. So the first week, I'm going to ask you to obviously read the pledge and sign it, turn it to your broker. Consider joining our Facebook group. I'm going to ask you to select the business book of your choosing to read during this course. And if you don't have a book in mind, I'm giving you 3 choices to think about. You could consider reading Organize Tomorrow Today by Jason Selk, excellent book. No Excuses by Brian Tracy, or The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And then there's a video that week that I want you to watch. You will receive it in the email. And that video called, How Do You Select a Success Partner from your office or from the industry so that you can become more accountable, so you can do better work, so you can produce better things, so you're not isolated. So that would be the first self-directed video that will be happening on the week of the onboarding, which is Monday the 28th throughout that week. Now, live session 1 is where we go into, and live sessions are on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern via Zoom and 10 a.m. Central, just for the people participating in the course. So, and they come with a handout that you fill in. So you'll come to the office, you sit with your broker and your colleagues, and we do the class together. So Most of us develop business plans and goals, but we never develop what's called a prospecting plan, a production plan, an appointment plan, and number of calls and door knocks and what's called engagement to do. So the first session we're going to learn about how to leverage time blocks, planning your business, intersecting it properly with activities, and layering a proper prospecting plan to get listing. Because at the end of the day, we have to take action, right? So that's live session 1 on September the 6th. Between the 2 live sessions, remember the session that follows this one that's live is in 2 weeks. In between that, there will be a self-directed session. And in that session, you'll receive a video that will show you how to use your CRM to nurture your sphere of influence and get them to talk to you about real estate. Not just their needs of real estate, but the needs of the people they know as well. We call that nurturing and working your sphere using a CRM. And you'll be given some scripts that you have to practice, and then you're going to start creating a plan, which I'll give you, to work your sphere once a week. So that's self-directed session 1.5. Live session 2, we're going to learn how to use market reports to farm. To farm a neighborhood is simply to take 1,000 homes or so that you are where you want listings, put a market report together, and engage the homeowners through the various means that you have for them to know what's happening in the marketplace, so that if they're thinking about selling, they pick you. We call that farming. We're going to talk about what is a comprehensive market report, what is a one-page market report, how do we use the one-page market report face-to-face, how do we use it on the phone, how do we engage people, how do we get them to talk to us and say, I am thinking about selling. I would like to downsize. And then you will learn what to say to set up the appointment. So we call that canvassing at your farm level or at your neighborhood level. The word farming simply means you're planting seeds in the mind of homeowners to pick you when they're ready to sell. You don't want them to pick somebody else. You want them to pick you. So that's live session 2. The in-between sessions, self-directed, we're going to talk about how do you talk about price, home prices, to be specific, to radiate your professionalism. How do you engage homeowners who are asking you, how much is that home over there? What is the verbiage? What is the languaging? What is the tempo? How do you put it in order in such a way that when you answer those questions, they go, that person knows their stuff. They're the pro. They know what they're talking about. Because remember, that's what homeowners are listening for. They really don't care about your license. If you tell them, I'm licensed, they go, you and my cousin Vinny, everybody's licensed. It's not the license that matters. It's your professionalism, how you talk about the market, how you talk about home prices, how you talk about valuation going up or down. It's that language that if you learn to easily spread it and know how to sequence it, they will realize you're the pro. You know yourself. So that will be self-direction session 2.5. That will be the week of September 25th. Then the live session that follows that is we're going to talk about how do you approach expired listings. How do you get an appointment? How do you get to have them talk to you even though right now their property expired, they probably hate every realtor, they don't want to talk to anyone? How do you go into the lion's den and bring value to the table and talk to them in an honest, productive way so that when they're ready to list again, they don't go FSBO or pick somebody else, they pick you. Even though we know that every expired listing has a conflict. They're not happy with the industry. So we need to learn how to be patient, diligent, and how to set the proper appointment. So that would be live session 3. After that, there's a self-directed session. In this one, you're going on your own. You're going to learn similar ideas, but not the same script and not the same, what I call philosophy or approach. How do you approach FSBOs? How do you come up to a full sale by owner and bring a value proposition so they decide that listing with you is more valuable than them doing it themselves? That listing with you will net them more money than if they did it themselves and not pay the commission. In fact, they will pay you a full commission and make more money by working with you than doing it themselves. And that's another one where there is friction. But if you know how to, if you are well scripted, if you know how to engage them, if you know how to be patient and follow up, you can pick up some of these FSBO listings as part of your, what I call, panoply of listings. It's all about confidence, not arrogance. Don't mix the two. Arrogance is like, I know everything and you don't. That's not confidence. Confidence is, let me show you what we got. Let me show you how exit works. And then you make the decision. I really like our program. I really like what we do. I want to show it to you. I want to approach the listing of your home so you can get the highest price with the best term within the shortest period of time. I want to show you how we do it. And then you get to decide whether you want to list with me or not. Okay, so that's self-directed 3.5. Live session 4, we're going to talk about how do you handle the buyer's consultation. A lot of agents are driving people around or working with the 20, 30 buyers for years on end and nothing is happening. Your consultation approach has not been tightened yet. You have not learned to ask open-ended questions. You have not gotten them to commit to their, what I call, their vision. You need to know their motivation. So if they don't tell you their motivation for buying, and it's clear to you, and it has a timeline in it, well, guess what? You're driving people to show them properties for nothing. So we need to learn how to prepare a proper consultation, what open-ended questions to ask, how to get them to talk a lot more about their motivation rather than how many bedrooms. It's not just about the bedrooms and the kitchen. Yes, those are important. There's motivation. What is it? And because some of them, believe it or not, whether you like it or not, they're cheating on you. What I mean by that, they're talking to you and talking to somebody else and talking to somebody else. And by the way, don't think that signing a buyer's agreement means anything. It means nothing. So we need to learn how to do this proper approach, how to work with them so we can help them get what they want, but at the same time, not spend hours upon hours upon hours and not have anything to show for it. Got it? So that would be how to handle a buyer consultation. The session in between that, we're going to do a self-directed session. And this concept is called direct response marketing. How do you do mailers, postcard, just listed, just sold? What should be in them? What should be made? What kind of branding, marketing should you do with your mailers, postcards, flyers, things that go out in the mail or something like the mail to people in the neighborhood so they can remember your name and want to work with you? We call that direct response marketing. So you're going to learn the fundamental of advertising for mail, the fundamentals of including the right elements. A lot of agents are not adding value reports. You got to create a hook. You got to have a hook that has them wanting to talk to you. And that's what we'll cover in that self-directed session that you'll do on your own. You'll get an email from me and you watch it. Then the 5th live session is, of course, live. It's a Wednesday. That will be on November the 8th. We're going to talk about every door direct mail, EDDM marketing. What is it? How do you select a neighborhood? How do you select the routes? What is a route? How do you print the postcard? What size postcard should they be? What should be in the postcard? What kind of QR code should you include? How do you integrate your mobile business cards with your mailers? How do you make sure that you're reaching the right people? All of this is called local farming through every door direct marketing or EDDM marketing. It's a very what I call layered action of farming and getting listings, but it needs to be part of a big picture. You can't do this alone and hope for results. There is a combination of this, follow-up calls, face-to-face marketing, open houses. We got to connect all of these ideas together, because when you do, you become a brand. You become the person they want to pick. You become Julie, the realtor, and they want to pick you to list their home when they're ready to sell. And then the last session, which is also self-directed, I'm going to be talking about fourth quarter branding, because that self-directed video will be the week of November the 13th, which is we're about to enter the fourth quarter. And when we enter the fourth quarter, there's work we need to do to prepare for the first quarter of next year. And one of them is called, how do you audit your branding, meaning your reach on social media, on YouTube, in your business card, your signage, your car magnets, your flyers, anything that has your face, your name, thing. We need to do an audit. Any website that mentions you, like Zillow, Realtor.com, Exit Realty, wherever you are, we got to make sure that you have the most up-to-date picture, the most up-to-date wording, the most up-to-date bio, the most up-to-date links. So we do what's called an audit. Because if you do this audit properly, you are ready to do your business plan. Remember, in the fourth quarter, we designed the business plan for the next year. So mid-November, right before Thanksgiving, we do a branding audit. In December, we work on the business plan for 2024. And in January, we start the implementation of that business plan. Got it? So those are all of the sessions. And I want to share this with you before I go. We must stop thinking that agents are either naturally born for real estate or not. Real estate for me is a skill. Everything I discussed with you, every session, every description I've given you is a skill. You just got to learn it. Just like you learn the English language, you develop that skill, but you had to learn it. You took classes, and then you applied. As you were learning the alphabet, you sang the alphabet. So now you remember the alphabet. So I really believe no matter what your personality, succeeding in real estate is yours. You just got to do the hard work. You can't just learn and not apply. 2/3 of agents learn and not apply. That's a waste of energy, waste of time. And agents and brokers need to understand that to develop good habits, it takes about 6 to 8 to 12 weeks. This is why I designed my classes around 3 months. Because once you do something consistently for about 3 months, and you stick with it another 3 months, it becomes a habit, a good habit. Whereas bad habits, you don't have to commit anything. So ask yourself, is it time for you to ignite your sales production? Is it time for you to reach your full potential? Now, like I told you, this is the link, bit.ly/YKTFA23, or you can scan the QR code. That's the webpage that has additional information. It has the pledge. It has the sessions descriptions that you can print and show them to your agent or to yourself. But let me end with this idea. We need to learn not to delay. There's no perfect time to become a good real estate agent. Get started now. Get started with what you know already. You got to work the tools, and as you work the tools, new tools will appear, and it will make you better. You will start making progress. Progress is your friend. Progress is better than perfection. Perfection is not what we seek. We seek to just get a little bit better each day. By getting a little bit better, we start producing results. When we produce results, we feel better about ourselves, which makes us, guess what? Get better results. It's called a positive feedback loop. You're having a positive feedback of you doing good work, and you're sticking with it. This is why you have to be careful with the people you hang out with. If they are negative all the time, they're trying to get you into a negative spiral. You want to be in a positive spiral. I hope I explained the class very well. I hope you choose to participate in my classes. I look forward to seeing you in one of my programs, and I will bid you good luck, my friend. Take care.